My name is Bernt Wahl, and I teach at UC Berkeley, and I had the privilege of Doug coming into my classes and talking to the students and really inspiring them. And he would bring the original mouse, and Karen would say, "If you lose that thing." But he did it because the kids were really inspired to see the real thing, the part of history. And we went on a lot of adventures together. We talked with a lot of companies. One that stands out is eBay had their research seminar, and each researcher was only supposed to talk for 15 minutes. And Doug talked for an hour and a half, and nobody stopped him. And at the end, he pulls out the miles, and he says, "I always wondered what this would fetch on eBay." And there were so many adventures, and I'd like to give a tribute from, of all people, Steve Jobs. So Doug and I went to see Steve's last keynote at Macworld that Steve ever gave. He's out the door, the press is hounding him. He stops, and he sees Doug Engelbart. And he talks to him for about a minute and a half, and he says to the world, "This is the guy who started it all." And then Steve, this is when he was really sick and had his issue with his liver. He says, "Send me an email, and I'll show you around Apple, and we'll all do lunch." And it was very touching. And I knew Steve for long. We were the first kids to build an Apple computer, and I was always very careful not to get Steve upset at me. But the last time he did, I said, "Steve, what's your email address?" And he says, sjobs@apple.com. But Doug would inspire so many people, and even Steve Jobs. If you look at the PBS interview, I think the only person that he mentions is Doug Engelbart. And one other adventure that I like to talk about, we went to hear a talk at Xerox PARC. It was a little early, so Doug and I, in our usual way, would walk around and we'd talk, and we thought, we'd just go into Xerox PARC. And they all knew who Doug was, of course, and they didn't know what to do, because it's like, well, you can't be here, this is a restricted zone. And they got the director and everything, and said, "Well, you should have told us you were coming," and everything like that. And I didn't say this, but I thought, well, are you afraid that Doug's going to steal your ideas? And so Doug was just a wonderful person, and we're all blessed to have gotten to know him. Thanks.